Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to dive into this really fascinating idea, a kind of spiritual hierarchy of good deeds. And what's wild is that it starts with these huge acts of generosity, but it ends with a super simple internal practice that's supposedly millions of times more powerful. Let's dig in and see how that works.
All right, so let me just start by asking you something. When you hear the phrase, doing a good deed, what pops into your head? Is it donating to charity, helping a neighbor out? And out of all those things, which one do you think really, makes the biggest difference?
Now, most of us, myself included, would probably think of giving something, right? And this ancient text we're looking at, it actually starts there too. But, and this is the cool part, it quickly builds this really surprising ranking that's probably going to flip what you think you know about generosity on its head.
So the text kicks off with what seems like the absolute peak of giving, right? I mean, providing for thousands of people, that's a huge deal no matter how you slice it. But believe it or not, in this hierarchy, that's just step one. It's just the bottom rung of a very, very tall ladder. And right out of the gate, this thing just totally flips our expectations. Get this, the good karma, or merit, you get from helping thousands of regular people is actually considered less than giving a single offering to just one sotapanna. Now, a sotapanna is someone who's just taken that very first step towards enlightenment.
Okay, and this is where a really clear pattern starts to show up. The merit from giving to 100 of those first stage folks, well, that's less than the merit of giving to just one sakadagami. And a sakadagami is a once returner, so they're a little further down the path. And this crazy 100-to-1 ratio just keeps going, all the way up the ladder. So giving to 100 of the second stage people is worth less than giving to one of the third stage people, and you get the idea. It goes all the way up to a single arahant, who is a fully enlightened being. So the main point here, it seems, isn't just about the giving itself. It's about the incredible spiritual purity of the person you're giving to.
So you'd think we've hit the top, right? I mean, a gift to a perfectly enlightened person. What could be better than that? Well, hold on, because we are not at the top of the ladder yet. This whole thing is about to take another really surprising turn.
Yep, that 100-to-1 pattern just keeps on chugging. The merit of giving to 100 fully enlightened arahants is still considered less than giving to a single Pratyeka Buddha, and these are beings who reached enlightenment all by themselves, with no teacher.
And now here we are, at the absolute peak of the giving part of the ladder. Providing for 100 of these amazing self-enlightened beings, well, even that is surpassed by the merit you'd get from a single offering to a supreme Buddha, and that's someone who not only becomes enlightened, but then teaches that path to everyone else.
But right here, everything changes. The hierarchy just does a complete 180. All of a sudden, it's not about who you're giving to anymore. A greater act is to build a monastery for the whole community. And even better than that, taking refuge, committing to the path yourself. And topping even that is just observing the 5 basic ethical precepts. The focus just shifts, boom, from outward giving to your own inner commitment and your own action.
Okay, get ready, because now we're about to take the biggest leap yet. We're leaving all those external actions behind, building things, giving things, and we're going inward. We're going right into the mind itself, because that's where this text says the real power is hiding.
I mean, just let this one sink in for a second. Think about all that stuff we just talked about. All those incredible acts of giving, building entire monasteries, a whole lifetime of living ethically, all of it, every single bit, is surpassed by the merit of just generating a mind of loving kindness, even if it's just for the time it takes to smell a fragrance. Wow.
And it goes even deeper. The text then points to the supreme value of insight, of wisdom. Because even more powerful than that moment of love is a flash of understanding, a moment of seeing things as they really are, perceiving impermanence, even for just the time it takes to snap your fingers.
All right, so this brings us to the very, very top, the absolute pinnacle of this entire hierarchy. We've gone from these massive acts of charity all the way to a fleeting moment of wisdom. So what on earth could possibly be more powerful than all of that put together?
So what is it? What is this one single act that's so powerful? A practice that anyone, anywhere can do that just blows everything else out of the water?
Well, according to this text, the supreme action is anapanasati. And what is that? It's simply mindfulness of breathing. Yeah, just the practice of observing your breath as it comes in and as it goes out. That's the whole thing.
And here's the kicker. The text says the merit from this one practice doesn't just add on to everything else we've talked about, it multiplies it. We're talking hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of times more powerful. It just completely changes the game on what we even think a good deed is.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. After that whole incredible journey up the ladder, from feeding thousands to building monasteries, the single most powerful act of merit is something that doesn't cost a dime. It requires no status, no big showy gestures. All it needs is your own mind and your own attention.
And so the text leaves us with this really profound thought, that mental karma is the most impactful. It suggests that the biggest changes we can ever hope to make, not just in the world, but in ourselves, they don't start with our hands. They start with our minds. The real power was inside us all along.